Okay, greetings. This is me, Danilo Hernandez, from Uniminuto University. Today in Phonetics and Phonics, we're going to learn the ending of ET words in English, inherited from the French language. Okay, so we're going to start. Let me check here. Okay, the phonetics and phonology. We are going to use the phonetic in French ending ET and the pronunciation of it. Okay. This is the Uniminuto University, and my name is Danilo Hernandez. That we're going to follow with this. Okay, the first we're going to check are the objectives of the class. The objectives, the objectives are to understand the direct usage of French words inherited to English. The second objective is to use the words in short conversations, and the third is to use the IPA or International Phonetic Alphabet charts and online website sources to find out the correct pronunciation, right? Okay, so let's start. We need for these materials, the materials needed is to hand on the English International Phonetic Alphabet, both in British and North American accents. You can find it um, following the link at the end of the presentation, and you can have all the resources that you're gonna need for this class. Okay. The second is the vowel IPA chart, which sometimes is not attached to the first one, but it's to the second one. Okay. And on an IPA transcription website, you can have many. To just find out, you search on the website IPA transcription, and you can find many of them, right? And number four, hand on a dictionary for descriptions if needed. If you need it, that's right. If you don't need it, that's great too. Okay, continue. Okay, so this is the IPA consonants that you're gonna find in all languages. This is not for English, actually. This is just how are distributed. We have labial, coronal, dorsal, laryngeal, and the minor, which is nasal, plosive, sibilant, fricative, non-sibilant, fricative, approximant, tap flap, trail, and lateral fricative, lateral approximant, and lateral tap flap. You may need some of this in English, but none of them are used in English, of course. This is the general one. And the IPA vowels. This is all the vowels that are used in all languages, but this is pretty much close to English. So just check which one you need and which of them are needed in case of use. Okay, so you gotta have in hand these charts. And third, the IPA English that is pre-compressed. You just have the symbols that you're going to use in English. This is pretty much British English, but you're gonna have English, American English too if you need it, right? And to phonetics.com, this is the first website I found. This is an IPA transcription, which you can find different transcriptions to IPA into for English, of course. Okay, the introduction. We have the ET ending or suffix. Well, this is just historical data. There has been many influences in English language, not only due to historical facts, but also because of the boundary closeness to France and other regions that influence the current English vocabulary. According to different sources, at least 30% of modern English vocabulary is directly borrowed from French. Words like prince, joyful, and beef come from the French language, as well as common terminology in the military, legal, technological, and political fields. This is partly caused by the migration processes and commercial exchange back on for centuries, approximately since the 30th century until now. Well, this is a very interesting story because Western languages have different sources. You can have words from the Arab, for example, in Spanish, You can have words from the German. Yeah. So these Western languages like Spanish, Portuguese, French have a lot of these roots. Okay. You can investigate more at the internet in the internet, but that's a great start to check this 30% modern English vocabulary, right? Some examples you may know. For example, in English you can find apostrophe, and in French is apostrophe maybe, but actually are pretty much the same. Aviation, aviation, brunette, brunette, cliché, cliché, déjà vu, that means already seen. For example, you have déjà vus when you see something that you think happened previously, that it's pretty much like that. Elite, that it's pretty much the same, which is chosen. Energy, energy, and fiance, fiance, right? Remember fiances when there is a girlfriend that you're gonna marry with. Yeah, perfect. There are words you may find in common in Spanish too, but with a difference on its pronunciation. Well, let's check the word, for example, ricochet. Good. In Spanish it's ricochet, but in English it's ricochet. It's completely different pronunciation uh, in the suffix, right? And the intonation is different. The accent in Spanish is ricochet, and in English is ricochet. As you can see, we have a closed mid-front vowel and velar plosive consonant, as you can see here, this part. And in English, it's different. It's a closed mid-front vowel and closed and near closed front vowel. This ricochet. Alright? So that's pretty much the difference for all the cases that we're going to check. First, here you can check the most common examples. For example, you don't say ballet, you say ballet. Here you can have the first word that is very common. For example, ballet is essentially a middle class interest. Ballet, ballet. It's not with a like in Spanish. It's pretty much flexed to ballet. Good. For example, she's undoubted star of British ballet. Okay. We have another example. Ballet, ballet. It's pretty much different. Good. As you can see here, the valet brought a woman's fox-lined cloak. And my valet can go into your carriage. Okay, so the word here is valet, valet. Good. The same. Here we have fillet, fillet. Sprinkle a bit of lime juice over each fillet, fillet. Okay. You may find some differences between the American and the British English, but they're pretty much similar in these cases. Good. Okay. The next, buffet, buffet. The dinner included a generous buffet and drinks. So you don't say buffet, you say buffet. Okay. Buffet, you remember, it's when you select a lot of products for lunch, maybe for a dinner, right? Well, which is primarily prepaid or already paid. Good, perfect. The next, bouquet, bouquet of flowers. A bouquet of flowers. Actually, I don't know the translation in Spanish how could it is, but it is bouquet, I think. A large bouquet of roses arrived on her desk. Good. A bouquet of flowers, or roses. As you can see here in the picture, it's pretty much a set of flowers put in a very attractive way in order to give it to someone else, right? For a present, or because you want to represent some love affairs or friendship affairs. Okay. or maybe if someone has passed out, they have a bouquet of flowers. Okay, the next, gourmet. Gourmet. It has double accent. Remember here, we have gourmet. Unless you count the gourmet burgers sold from the quantity grubby bands dotted near the stadium. Unless you count the gourmet horse burgers sold from the quantity pointedly grub bands dotted near the stadium. And the most common brand and the most influenced word in Spanish, which is Chevrolet. Yes, as you can see here, it changes a little bit because this is modern IPA. It says from Dodge Charger and the Neon, the Chevrolet Corvette to the Skylands, you'll find good diversity when making a selection. Right? It's now your time. You can find some sources where you can download the the phonetic transcription available, and the photos from Freepik. These are the sources that you can go and investigate more. Thank you.